Hello, welcome to Working Dragon Mystic. I'm Drake. Today I'd like to answer a question I've been getting. In my first video I mentioned living a magical life, and I've been getting some questions on exactly what I meant by that and what that is. So I'd like to go ahead and go over that a little bit today. To me, living a magical life is actually the understanding that everything we do, everything we are, everything around us in some way, if not every way, relates to magic. You could look at this in the Hermetic principle that all is one, which that is true, I would agree with. And also how in the fact that everything in the world is comprised of the energy so that we work with as magicians or mages and practitioners. If you've trained your arcane senses, you can easily see and hear a kaleidoscope and a musical world that most people are blind to. And this world, it's beautiful. I mean, there's just no other way to describe it, really. And it leaves you with a sense of wonder and an intrigue, no matter what's going on in the world or in your life. And because of that, that's to me, that's one of the greatest things about learning magic has been a whole new view on the entirety of the world. Nothing is simple or mundane anymore. Everything's become far more fascinating, intriguing, and engaging. And every time I do something, it's an entirely different experience because that energy shifts and moves and is in constant motion. So nothing is the same boring thing over and over. Along with that, you open yourself up to spirits and entities that are constantly traversing our world. And these are spirits and entities that you see going about your day as if you would strangers and whatnot, and they'll tend to wave at you, acknowledge you in some way. Some will even try to communicate and speak with you. And of course, you can speak with them. So this opens up an entire populace that's populating this world that you haven't been aware of. And that too adds a lot to your daily experience. Another part of living a magical life is getting in touch with nature and hearing the voice of nature and seeing the spirit of nature. I mean, there's a difference in just walking through the woods blindly and actually being able to hear the voices and the spirits and the energy around you that's in nature. Magicians tend to not pay as much attention to this as perhaps pagans and Wiccans, but it's definitely something that should not be overlooked. This is energy. I mean, it's a part of a magician's life, whether they admit it or not. Many do. I mean, most magicians I meet these days do tend to lean toward the pagan perspective. But even myself, I lean more into the science of magic. But that energy, that voice, it's still there. And I do a lot of camping. I get outdoors and I know I'm not alone. It's a wonderful thing to have that energy and those spirits around me, knowing that I have allies and friends in the woods where I'm at. And this also goes with animals. Your interaction with house pets, wild animals, it extremely shifts when you start living this magical lifestyle and you actually approach everything with this mindset, and you really separate yourself from just assuming this is a mundane action. And in fact, I would say that assuming something's mundane is almost detrimental to a practitioner. The more and more you engage yourself in a magical lifestyle and you start applying it, the easier it becomes. It becomes like breathing. It's second nature to you. You become a part of it. So the energies respond to you far easier. You gather up energy, you pull energy easier, you push energy easier, and you start seeing and communicating with your arcane senses far easier because you're using them every day in everything you do. It's not a matter of on or off. And it's true, there are times when people will want to turn down the volume or take a break because just like in the mundane world, if you would say. You want time alone. You want to be able to withdraw, recharge, just be by yourself, have a quiet time. And the same thing goes in the metaphysical life as well. So, yes, there are times you want to turn down those arcane senses so you can be by yourself. And that's fine. The big problem most people fall into is when they turn them off, they ignore them for so long that they have trouble turning them back on. So I find living the magical life to be the better option. I would rather have trouble turning them down or off than I would ever have. I don't want to have trouble turning them on ever. This is who I am. This is what I do. I live it. I breathe it. I do it every day. And I do. I encourage my students and my apprentices to do the same and live that magical life. Make it a part of them. Nothing is mundane. People ask me, what's your favorite grounding exercise? What's your ritual for relaxation and grounding? And they look at me weird and laugh when I tell them it's my morning cup of coffee. But it's true. I mean, first off, coffee is very, very tied to earth, so therefore it will have a wonderful, rejuvenating, grounding quality to it. And when I get my cup of coffee, I sit there and I ground. As we went over in the grounding and shielding class, I will actually start going through my grounding, checking my energy, pulling energy into me, rejuvenating me, grounding out any excess negative energy that I don't need, working through all my chakras, and drinking my coffee. That is what I do every morning. And that cup of coffee, it's not just that morning cup of coffee to me. It's an entire ritual. It's something I'm very thankful for. And it brings me a great deal of happiness, joy, and pleasure in my life. Though my wife would probably just tell you I'm a real crank without my coffee, and she'd pour it down me if I didn't drink it. So, but it does that too. But it is. It's that grounding ritual for me in the morning. And I do it every morning. So something as simple as that. Another everyday thing that people often overlook is listening to music. A lot of practitioners, when you start seeing energy and everything, when you play music, you'll notice the energy in the room shifts with the music, which is something I've always found extremely fascinating. So you can actually partake in that energy shift while listening to the music. The music can occasionally tend to draw entities, again, associated with those energies, which that's fine. I've never minded it. Some people do, some I don't. But so yeah, even just sitting and listening to music becomes an entirely magical experience in itself. Drawing or doodling on paper, you can watch the energies of creation as you're doing that. Driving, a lot of people don't understand it, but driving is a time when a lot of us are by ourselves, and we can really take that time to focus on what we're doing. True, never take your eyes off the road. You want to stay focused on the road, but in so doing, with that focus on the road, focus on what else is there, not just the road. And you'll be able to see that there's a great deal of energy and entities, and you'll be hearing more, and you'll become more in tune with the world. And this actually will make you a better driver and reduce your accidents, because you have a greater attunement to what's going on all around you, not just with your visual field. And one I think most people are aware of, though we probably don't get out and do it as much as we want, but sunset and sunrise. These are in-between times, just like midnight and noon, but these are in-between times that have a visual shift to them that we can see. And the energy patterns and the sounds that can be experienced during these times is incredible. I would encourage everyone to get out and check out a sunset or a sunrise from time to time. It's a wonderful thing. But the point here is everything we do, one way or the other, we can work it into our magical craft and our practice. And that's what living a magical life is. We're not just practitioners when we sit down to do a ritual. We're not just moving energy when we do a spell. Everything we do affects those energy patterns in some way every day of our life. And becoming aware of that helps us to become aware of the energies in our life, and therefore it helps us to maintain those energies better. And as a magician or a practitioner, especially as a mage, controlling the energies around you and in your life and manifesting the life you want, that's really the bulk of the goal. So living that magical life makes you constantly aware of the energies that are in your life and affecting you, and allows you to shape them according to your will. And I've also found it gives you a greater appreciation for things that happen every day. All too often we take things for granted, whether it just be sitting out on the back porch, enjoying a beverage, whether it be spending time with a friend. There's a lot of things that happen every day that we take for granted far too much, and that's not a good thing. You should appreciate your life. It is true, as magicians, we seek ascent, and that's great. And I know there's magicians out there who seek physical immortality. I'm not going to get into whether I think that's possible or not, but either way, what we have here and now is all we're really guaranteed. So let's make the most of it. And I think that's important. So that's, to me, what living a magical life is all about. Even sitting down, just having dinner, appreciate the food. So many people just sit down and wolf it down. I'm guilty of it when I'm in a hurry and I have to work. Try to slow down, appreciate it, savor it. You'll really notice a difference. Anthony Bourdain is actually someone who's actually asked the question once. I can't remember if it's in his books or in one of his shows. Have you ever actually sat down and really ate and appreciated a ham and cheese sandwich? Now, that seemed silly to me at first when I heard it, because it's a ham and cheese sandwich. I've never seen anyone really get excited about ham and cheese sandwich. But he also explained what he meant. Slow down, take the time, appreciate it. And he was talking about, having a drink. I think he was having an espresso, reading the paper, taking your time, and enjoying the sandwich. And I think he sat down and took like 30 to 40 minutes to eat his sandwich. Most people I know could have killed that sandwich in 5 minutes or less. So that got me to thinking. And he's right. He is right. He was onto something. And slowing down and appreciating something and taking time and really focusing on where you are, what you're doing, it makes a lot of sense, and it gives you a greater appreciation for everything. And you will find it de-stresses you in ways that nothing else can. So, to me, that's what living a magical life is. I know this is probably one of the stranger videos I've done, but I hope this helps. And I also hope you all actually do take the time to slow down and appreciate things. Even if it's a ham and cheese sandwich, or in my case, a cup of coffee. I live on the stuff. But do slow down, observe the world around you, take time to appreciate it, look at it, think about it, look at the energies around you, feel them, and experience the life that we have in its fullest way possible as a practitioner. And keep on living that magical life. Anyways, I'm Drake, and this has been Working Dragon Mystic. Thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment below, even if it's just to say hi, and hit the bell icon over there so you'll be notified anytime we have a new video or I have another random thought like this. Also, join us on Facebook. We do have a Facebook group where we're building a community to talk and discuss topics of any kind of metaphysical topic, really. And we also post any notifications for when we got new videos coming out there. And we also keep our members up to date on our newest project, which is an online magical school that we are hoping to get launched very, very soon. It's going to have full video classes, and our goal is to have every class be a beginner to mastery. So we're going to keep everyone up to date on that, and we start shooting hopefully this week for those video courses. So till next time, I'm Drake. Take it easy. Bye.